I'm Chris Hutchins, Athletic Director of Bentonville High School. This is episode 2 of Tiger Insider. Today I am joined by Coach Megan Walbe.
Hi.
She is the head coach of the Golden Tamers, who just got back from Florida. A fabulous trip. I'm sure she'll get the chance to tell us about that. But the primary purpose of Tiger Insider is just to get our coaches, starting with our head coaches, into a room, and for Tiger Nation to get to know our head coaches, to promote our programs and promote our coaches, and talk about some of the great things that are going on in Tiger world. So, Coach Walbe, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I know you got a busy schedule.
Yep.
Done with one season, starting the next. So,
yeah,
right?
sure
It never ends. It's a constant 365-day cycle minus 2 weeks of dead period and a couple days at Christmas, right?
Yeah, we do have, our program does not stop. We go year round. So we got a short little time right here before tryouts, but we'll get, we're already started for next year. So
yeah, it's a lot of pressure. So first, I guess I just want to ask you just about your background, about your family, where you're from, so everyone will know that. So go ahead.
Sure. I'm from Springdale, Arkansas. I went to Harbor High School, where I did cheer there and was on their competitive team, did state and all that, under the direction of Ann Marfeld. I grew up doing cheer and dance in Bentonville as well, but at studios like Aspire Infinity. So I started making connections in Bentonville pretty early on without knowing that it would be impactful. It was just, doing sports like I wanted to. And then I actually made a lot of connections that when I started working here kind of came full circle. I actually met TK when I was probably 16 or 17. And so, when I was talking about teaching and getting a job up here, I reached out to TK, said, hey, anything, if you can kind of lead me, guide me to any direction for coaching and teaching positions, and so that was super helpful. I went to the University of Arkansas, where I was a part of the Spirit program there. I was on the Pom Squad for a couple of years and danced at the U of A, which was an amazing experience. And so I finished with a degree in biology and kind of figured, what do I want to do with this? And so teaching and coaching seemed to make a lot of sense. And so came up here and started teaching right away at Fulbright. I actually coached dance there first, the junior high level for 2 years, and then quickly found my way moving up to freshman, coached freshman for a year, and then I'm in my 3rd year of coaching at the varsity level. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's been amazing. It's been the most challenging thing I've ever done, but it's been a really, really great experience for me, and we've been pretty successful so far, I'd say.
So 3 years head coach of the Golden Tamers. That is a lot of pressure because that program has been established a long time ago. You're carrying on a tradition.
It was before I even stepped in the door. It was like, okay, you know what you're getting into, right? I was like, I think it's a lot of fun, And I was like, no, we need to win.
Has it been fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's hard, but it's been a lot of fun.
It's a lot of pressure. So you talked a little bit about growing up and from Springdale, went to Harbor High. So how is that? Is that hard? When we're playing Harbor, is there any kind of loyalty issues or anything that we have?
For my first game day against Harbor, I said, go Wildcats, and I was like, wait a minute, where am I? So, no, it's actually kind of fun, especially like when we go back to Harbor, we play at Harbor, I'm like, I'm home for a minute, and then I come back to my home where I'm coaching in Bentonville, and so it's been fun to kind of feel like I'm part of both worlds, but my heart's with the Tigers, so
that's good.
That's good.
So tell us about your family and the reason, make that connection. Obviously family's the most important thing, but when they come to a Tiger Harbor event, do they have, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're in their Tiger gear. I've got 3 siblings and 2 parents, all from Springdale as well, and so they now have their Tiger shirts, but they kind of have the same feel as I do. I have my siblings all graduated from Harbor, and so we're like that. We know we got our roots, but we've got our new team that we're rooting for. So we kind of both being part of both teams.
I've gone to some competitions. I think it's your sister that kind of helps out a little bit.
She's there at every competition. I have a twin sister, and she's there
first one on the court to say good job, good luck, and one videoing for me on center. And so like, okay, what'd you think? So she gives me her full report afterwards, and she's pretty honest.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. It's good to have honest family feedback, right?
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you teach at Fulbright. What do you teach?
I teach 7th and 8th grade science, and then I come to the high school for my athletic period twice a week. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So, easier to get to the top or stay on top?
My first year
when I came, they were state champions already, and so it was my job to keep it there. And so I can tell you from experience that it's hard to stay there. It was, my first year we got state runner-up. Year transition, you can see that happening. But I think that until I got runner-up, I didn't understand the full impact of what it's like to get to the top and stay there. And so my second year we won state, and so then our goal was to be back-to-back state champions. And so that year we were way more strategic about what we did to stay on top. But it was a totally different mindset to stay there and to have the eyes on you. You're the reigning champions. Are you going to stay there? Or are you not? Someone else is going to come in. And thankfully, we were able to stay on top, not by luck or chance, but by pure hard work and dedication and goal setting, and kids who were driven and focused and came off from a loss. Or I guess they had come from a win, but they knew it was going to be a challenge as well. So the training was different, but staying on top is much harder.
So you just got back from Florida.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah. You want me to start from the beginning?
Sure.
So this is my second time going to nationals. I went 2 years ago in 2020. Math right? Yeah. Right before COVID. And so that was a cool experience too. Again, another learning experience. My first year coaching, took the team to nationals. We did great. Set a record for our highest placement as well, 8th and 11th. And so we set out to go this year again. We went every other year, but going every other year, we had only 2 members on the team who'd been that very first year. So we have in total 3 of us, counting me, I guess 4, and our choreographer, who were trying to explain the experience and describe it and get our team ready for it. But we had booked our plane tickets and we were set to go on Thursday, but we got word that a snowstorm was coming in, which really is hard to just uproot 25 plane tickets and move them earlier. So every team in the district that was going, Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville West, us, were scrambling to find plan B, which meant West left on the bus early. We moved our plane to a day earlier, and then we ended up not being able to leave on Wednesday due to mechanical issues and then quickly weather. So we started with an overnight stay at X&A, not planned for.
How many were in the traveling party?
25. So the safest option was to stay put, and so we did, and it was really unconventional and something we will never forget.
But the next morning at 6 a.m. we were able to be wheels up and on the airplane and headed to Charlotte, and then we flew to Orlando. So once we got past the traveling portion of it, the hardest part of the entire thing, we were home free, and we'd had a great experience at nationals, being surrounded by teams that are starting to look at us and kind of know who we are, and we would compete. We had 3 rounds of competition for Palm. We had to get through prelims, semis, and finals. So you had to be at the top of each of those groups to move on to the next round. We did that, and we went into finals in 3rd place, which was, huge. We were very, very surprised we had done so well. We planned to do well, but you never know. You get there, and teams from all across the nation are doing what you're doing to prepare. And so we finished 4th in the nation, which was just more than we had ever asked or imagined. We set for top 10 was our goal. We got
top 5. So we were excited. We came 13th in jazz, which was another really tough division. We had to get through semis and finals in jazz, but we were happy with our placement there, but just really thrilled about 4th place.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was. It was not what we expected, but it was great.
So, and I can speak firsthand from this experience because I was able to go with the Golden Tamers one year when my daughter was a senior, and it's not really a trip to Florida like some people imagine, like let's go spend some time with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, right? It's like boom, boom, boom. This is the schedule. We're the Golden Tamers. We're here to compete. We might get to have a half day at the park, maybe. But it's not a thing of finishing up competition at 9 a.m. in the morning and let's go to the parks and play, right?
No, the schedule is as we wake up, We practice, we eat.
We practice and compete. So on a day, like I say day one, we really didn't compete until, I think we competed at 11. So we woke up, we practiced, we competed, we ate lunch, we practiced again in the afternoon, and we competed one more time in the evening. And so that was day one. And so our philosophy is we go, we compete, and then we play. And so we got done competing at like around Sunday afternoon. And so after that, after our last performance, we went to the park Sunday afternoon.
Had some part time Monday morning before we got on our flight. But we're not there to play. It's an exhausting trip. It's a hard trip, but it's worth it whenever you go there and you hear your name called for semis and finals and then top three. So we're not there for the parks, but we sneak it in when we can.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So the Golden Tamers are extremely high level. Anybody that's come and watched a competition, watched at halftime of the football game or the basketball game, it doesn't seem like the girls ever miss.
We don't. I mean, we give them we call them personal days, 2 days that they can have off for, a concert, if they have a work conflict or whatever else, but that's 2 days for the entire year from May to May. And so they know that this is their first priority, and when we're missing one player, it messes up a lot of what we're doing. And so they feel that, they know that, and they see the benefits of having everyone there. When someone's gone, we're kind of like, what, someone's gone? So we don't miss. We really do our best to make sure we're all in from day one.
And you don't miss during the routines either.
Yeah.
Turns, aerials.
Yeah.
So turns. Like when you see the girls going around and around and around and around, it seems like they're going around 100 times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you get 20? How many were on the team this year?
21, we compete 18.
18 girls doing how many turns, and they're all like in sync. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's the most challenging part of what we do.
And it's kind of the moneymaker of the routine. It's like what the audience is looking for is the turn section.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it's impressive. And when you don't turn together, even just one or two kids off, it takes the value away from the skill. And so the goal isn't always how many, but how many you can do together. And so we spend a lot of time breaking the turn down, the dynamics of a turn. I mean, even we slow-mo, we go, hey, Chris, you're off on count 2. And you're like, okay, we watch film. And so just like football or basketball, we sit and watch film in competition season. We spend Sundays watching film. We go back and watch all our routines from the day before at the competition, and we analyze them, bring them apart with a score sheet. So
there's analytics and tactics that we do as well that kind of transfer to other sports. But it's hard to get 18 people to turn together, but it takes practice. Thankfully, a lot of these kids have been dancing together for a long time, so we end up dancing the same, and we have a style that we try to make it look the same for everybody. We talk about how no one's a soloist. No one gets to have their moment. We all have to dance together exactly the same. You don't get to do your own thing. You get to do what everyone else is doing, and so it's kind of what we do to dance together.
So when I told my wife what I was doing this morning, interviewing Coach Walbe, she said aerials.
Okay, yeah.
So talk about aerials, because that's important in the dance world, and something that the Golden Tamers pride themselves on.
Yes.
Okay.
So team aerial is what everyone kind of strives for. Aerial is a cartwheel with no hands. It's a skill that everyone wants to have, and so we do have team aerials. We've had it for a couple of years. I know some teams in the area are kind of still working on it. It's hard to do. But even more impressive is to have team aerials on the right side. It'd be like if we asked you to start writing with your left hand. I assume you're right hand dominant. Yeah. If we said, hey, we want you to start writing with your left hand. The same way with skills, you have a right side and a left side dominance. And so probably our next goal is to have aerials on the right side, which is backwards for some people. Be like writing with your left hand. You want me to do what?
Next level.
Next level.
Right. Always trying to figure out what we can do to challenge ourselves and take us to the top. So
yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So before you went to nationals, you performed at the basketball game. The music stopped, and the girls just kept on going. Like they were counting out there, and it was just incredible to watch their dedication, their training, and them knowing what to do. So, all right. So talk a little bit about, just briefly, what are some things you do outside of the competitions and the dance on the floor for your team?
One thing I try to focus on personally is team building and team bonding, which sounds trivial sometimes. You're like, do we really need to do this? And the answer is yes. I think about probably 5 minutes of every practice is something, some game, some sort of activity where we have to rely on each other, trust each other, work together. I think that we talk a lot about like just knowing your teammates well and trusting them, because you can tell when you don't have that trust or that team dynamic or that bond with your teammates. The vision and the picture we're trying to portray, it's a miss. And so we focus a lot on that outside of practice or in practice, and a lot of discipline and working on things like time management, communication. I work a lot with the girls to make sure they're communicating with me, not a parent, because they are 16, 17, 18. They're about to go to college, and so we focus a lot on their responsibility, their role on this team, and then whatever else they have to manage. If it's school, if it's work, if it's studio dance, if it's another sport, it's their responsibility to kind of sort those things out with me and not mom.
Hard to do, especially when they're sophomores. They're like, wait, my mom can email you. I'm like, no, you can. So I would say a lot of team building and a lot of just responsibility and leadership roles, especially for seniors. It's their time to take on things that I don't necessarily, by the end of the year, have to prompt anymore. Beginning of the year in summer, I do a lot of like, hey, senior, why don't you go tell your team this, or why don't you go make sure this is done, or why don't you remind your teammates of this? And then by January, February, they're doing those things themselves, which is great to see.
They've got it. That's awesome. There's no pressure, no one's an expert in dance. No dance moms involved or dance dads, right? And they've all been dancing since probably they're 5 and 6 years old.
Yeah, so no one's new to the sport at this point. They're just, right now we're just refining and being strategic about what we do.
It's awesome. You do a great job with that.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to finish up here. Something called the 2-minute drill. I'm just going to ask you some questions, quick answers, all right?
Okay.
No pressure.
All right, I'll go fast.
So,
okay.
first job, not teaching, growing up.
Babysitting.
Favorite food?
Chick-fil-A. All day, every day.
Of course.
I'm a signature member on the app. It's not a big deal.
So, favorite restaurant, that's a given, then, right?
Yeah.
So if you could go back to maybe Coach Walbe when she first started as a coach, what advice would you give yourself?
Keep having fun.
That's good.
Keep having fun.
That.
Yeah.
If you're going on vacation, where are you going?
The beach every time.
Someplace warm?
Someplace warm. Yeah.
Best advice you received?
Oh gosh. Eyes down, stay the course.
That. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
If you weren't teaching and coaching, what's another profession you might be in?
I joke that I would be a pop star. I can't sing, but I love entertainment and things like that. Realistically, I would love to be in like physical therapy or speech pathology.
I like it. I like it. Biggest pet peeve? I don't know. When I think probably a student or an athlete, their response is, I know. Okay, none of that around Coach Walbe. No, I knows. All right.
No, and my girls will tell you that. They know that.
That's good.
If they receive a correction, we don't say I know. We say thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Practice or game?
Or competition, I should say.
Competition.
Book, podcast, or show?
Probably show.
Any favorite show? Right now?
I just finished season 2 of Cheer on Netflix. Are we surprised? No. But yeah.
All right. If it's not dance, I'm going to take away cheer too, because we know you've been in cheer. What's your favorite sport besides cheer and dance?
Play or watch.
Let's go with watch to start with.
I am a huge Arkansas baseball fan. I've been going since we were like 12. I haven't made it to the World Series yet when they've gone, but I've got season tickets for this year, and we'll be out there this weekend. So And the play, I like to run. I don't really play other sports, so
All right.
tennis is fun, I guess.
How about in a long time from now for you?
Yeah.
If you were retired, what's your retirement life look like?
Oh gosh, I haven't even thought about it. I gotta get married and have kids first. So retirement, probably, I don't know. I am a busybody, so as far as like sitting still and doing nothing, probably isn't in my future. But I don't know. I can see myself vacationing a lot, and then having some sort of side gig. I have a lot of side gigs that I like to do and keep myself busy. So
That's good. Last question. Tiger DNA. What does that mean to you?
Tiger DNA.
I think it's finding our roots and tradition and sticking to what works for us and what's been established before us and passing that down to the next generation. DNA is what I'm teaching in science right now, so passing down to the next generation is about what it's about. Yeah.
That's good.
Good genes. Yeah.
That's good. This has been really good.
Yeah.
I know that we appreciate everything you do for
Thank you.
for the Tiger Athletic Program and for the Golden Tamers. So hope everyone enjoys learning about Coach Walbe and the Golden Tamers.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great learning experience for everyone. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.